Good morning. So, ready to can some meat? This is how I've done chicken. I've done pork loin. Now I'm going to do some London broil and some fish. Okay, canning meat is one of the easiest things to can as long as you have a pressure canner. You can't do this in a water bath canner, like you do with jelly. You need a pressure canner for this. But it is so simple. There's no pre-cooking required. All you need is your meat, your jars, your lids. Oh, need to get a lid. Okay, your lids and some pickling salt. The reason why you use pickling salt is because there's no iodine in here, and there's no anti-caking agents. And the anti-caking agents can make the, if you're making pickles, it can make it kind of cloudy, and the iodine can mess with the whole pickling process. So that's all you need. I have used kosher salt before, but since I'm doing an actual video and being all professional and stuff, I'm using pickling salt. But in my head, I don't know if it's true or not, I would use, I use kosher salt all the time. Anyway, so you cut your meat into whatever form you want it in. Don't do ground beef because that's a whole different ball of wax, like E. coli and inability to get rid of all the air pockets and stuff. But anyway, cut your meat into whatever size you want. This is a pint jar. I really, really, really like using the 12-ounce jelly jars. Let me show you. I really like using this size because for me, this is a perfect size for just me. If I'm going to make myself something really quick for lunch, this is a really good size. But I'm going to do this for uniformity reasons. It turns out that my storage space is a little bit limited, and these are all the same size. So anyway, wash your jar, wash your lids, and get started. Now, you just put your meat in here. Let me move this. There, now you can see. Okay, so you just toss the meat in. When it gets to a certain level, you push it in here and try to eliminate as many air pockets as you can, and you keep going. And for video time's sake, I'm only going to do a jar of each. And you just keep packing it in. And since I didn't weigh anything, after I'm done, I will weigh it to find out exactly how much meat I put in here. Don't go too high. Go to like right around here. Oops. Right around here. That's about the highest you want to go. You need some air in the jar at the top, just not too much. Okay. And now you just double check, make sure there are no air pockets. See, like that one. Oops, that one. They have special tools for doing this. They're little plastic, it's like a plastic knife, like a picnic knife, except more expensive. And, but of course I don't have one. And then on top of this, you put either half a teaspoon of salt or a teaspoon. For this, I think I'm going to do a teaspoon. Yeah, I'll put a teaspoon in the beef, and maybe okay, so there's a teaspoon. Now I'll do a jar of the fish just so you can see. Oh, and this I just chunked up. This is tilapia. Since I wanted to do this video, I just bought the cheapest fish possible. Most of the instructions that I've seen online are, this canning method is only for fatty fish. Well, why? What's the difference between non-fatty fish and the chicken breast that I canned? I don't see any difference. Or the pork loin, which doesn't have a lot of fat, but you'd never know it by looking at the jars, which I will show you after. And you just keep packing the same way I did with the beef. At least the fish gives more. Okay, and for this, I will do half a teaspoon of salt. And then what you do before you put your lids on is you get a paper towel and some vinegar, just plain old white vinegar. It doesn't have to be anything fancy because you're not using it to eat. Put some on the paper towel, wipe the rims. This is to ensure that any possible bit of fats that came off of the meats is off of here. Then you take your nice clean lid, you put it on here, screw down the ring, not too tight, just boom, that's it. Do it until it's tight, and then you do like not even a quarter turn. You don't want to wrench it down because then it makes it virtually impossible to take off. And I'm going to finish the other jars, and then I'll show you how to do the canning process itself. Okay, so now we're going to find out. All that meat was only 4 pint jars. So now we're going to find out exactly how much weight-wise, is in there. So zeroed it out. Fish, the tilapia, there is 15.8, so it's almost a pound. And the beef is 15.9. So roughly a pound of meat can fit into a pint jar. That way, that gives you an idea of exactly how many jars you'll need and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so this is my canner. Yeah, I know it looks pretty, but it's a Presto canner. See, all that. I have roughly 3 quarts of water in here heating up. And here are my jars. Just put them in here. Make sure they're not touching each other or the sides, which is easy since there's only 4 jars. Okay, so I have it on high right now. I'm going to put the lid on it. And I did this in another video with this one. See that little arrow? You match it to here. You twist it, which is kind of difficult with one hand. And you leave it until there's a fountain of steam coming out the top. Then once that fountain of steam comes out the top, you place this on here and you wait until it builds up pressure, and pressure changes depending on your elevation. I am at roughly sea level, so it's like 12 pounds pressure for roughly an hour and a half. My pressure canner is not happy at 10. It's not happy at 12. It's only happy at 15. So we just go with that and leave it at that pressure, adjust the temperature on the dial so that it maintains that pressure for 90 minutes. And then I'll show you what it looks like when we open it up. Okay, so time is up. I turned off the heat. There's still a little pressure. Do not remove this at all until there's absolutely no pressure. Oh, there it is. No pressure. It has to be completely down to zero, because what you're doing, if you remove that, it creates like a vacuum and it sucks any of the moisture out of the jars and into the pot, and it's awful, it's gross, and your food will go bad and it won't create a seal. So be patient. Okay, now that I remove the lid, I'll take the jars out. Oh, you need to get yourself one of these. Anywhere that there's canning supplies. I used to try it another way because I don't need a special tool. No, this makes a world of difference. Okay, let's see if I lost any. There's the beef. There's the fish. Another fish. Oh, yay! None of them broke. Okay, we'll let them sit, cool off a little bit, and then I'll tell you what to do next after they seal. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it almost looks like they've all sealed already. Yeah, usually when you first pull them out, they'll be bulging. Then you let them sit here for a few minutes until they pop, and that is the lid popping down and sealing, creating a vacuum, and it'll be all sealed. But looks like they all did it already. So the next step is to remove the rings once it's cool enough. Once these are sealed, remove the rings, then wash your jars in soapy water, because there's going to be leftover gunk that spilled out of the jars during the processing. Then wash your jars and then mark on the top what it is and the date, because I'm telling you, if you sit there and you go, oh, I'll remember what it was, no, you won't. I've done that with so many things that are in the freezer. I have no idea. I just knew I'd remember what they were, and I can't remember what the heck they are. So I'll see you after everything's done. And here they are. Here's the tilapia. Here's the London broil. And that's how they look. I am really impressed with the fish. I've only done fish once before, and I hated the way I did it because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But this looks awesome. Now, I wanted to show you. So that's how I marked it on top. And these, there's my pork loin. You see I did it in 2016. And my chicken breast is 2017. And they look just as good today as they did when I pulled them out of the canner. And I don't know how, but you watch for, because I haven't had any go bad yet, you watch for a change in color and the lids getting loose and, you know, popping up or anything. But according to all guidelines that I've ever seen anywhere, home canned meat should only be kept a year. Why? These look absolutely fine. So, anyway, that's it. I really hope that you get into canning, especially meat, because it is just so easy. Have a great day.